In just a matter of hours, President Trump will unveil new trade tariffs. This comes after a flurry of on-again, off-again tariffs on goods imported from several countries, including Canada, on top of new automotive tariffs set to go into effect tomorrow on foreign cars and parts.
One of the questions we're getting most often from you is, when will I start to feel the effects of higher prices? And prices, not just on anything, but specifically on cars and parts for cars. He's planning on a car purchase. What effect will tariffs have on the purchase cost of the vehicle? Should one purchase sooner than later?
In the early months of 2025, the global automotive landscape underwent a dramatic upheaval as U.S. President Donald Trump's aggressive tariff measures redrew the map of North American trade. A sweeping 25% tariff on all imported vehicles, coupled with staggering duties on Chinese goods, peaking at 145% before being negotiated down to 115%, sent tremors through an already fragile industry. Canada, deeply entwined with the U.S. through its automotive sector and shared supply chains, suddenly found itself at a critical juncture. Faced with mounting pressure, major American automakers began shutting down Canadian facilities and shifting production back to the United States. This wave of restructuring threatened tens of thousands of jobs and cast a long shadow over Canada's economic stability. In a bold and calculated move, Canada responded by seeking partnerships with Chinese car makers, manufacturers whose ambitions and technological edge offered a lifeline in a time of uncertainty. This strategic redirection marks not only a challenge to American dominance in the regional auto market, but also sets the stage for a profound reshaping of geopolitical and economic alliances. The Trump administration's intent behind the tariffs was clear: to invigorate domestic manufacturing by compelling companies to produce within U.S. borders. While Canadian-made vehicles that conform to the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, faced a comparatively reduced tariff of 12.5%, the broader implications were harsh. Complex global supply chains and strict rules of origin under the USMCA made compliance particularly difficult for parts sourced beyond North America. As a result, leading American manufacturers such as General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis reassessed their Canadian operations. Ontario, Canada's automotive heartland, bore the brunt. Stellantis shuttered its Windsor plant, triggering widespread layoffs. Honda, the Japanese giant with a strong presence in Canada, deferred plans for an electric vehicle (EV) facility in Ontario and instead relocated its project south of the border to avoid the new trade barriers. This exodus left a significant void. The auto industry, which comprises nearly 10% of Canada's manufacturing GDP and directly supports over 125,000 jobs,
has been telling me about this Elbows Up campaign intended to really bite back, talk to us.
Exactly. And he was always ready to defend his position. And that's why we ran with that theme, because we're ready to defend our position too.
And are you seeing a lot of your customers are responding to it? Are they buying more cars?
It's been very favorable. We had a very good March. April yesterday was phenomenal.
Not to mention many more in related sectors, stood at the brink. The fallout strained U.S.-Canada relations further, with President Trump going so far as to declare his desire to permanently shut down Canada's automotive manufacturing sector, inflaming tensions. Against this backdrop, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government faced a delicate task of safeguarding employment and asserting economic independence. It was in this moment of economic reckoning that Canada turned to China. Chinese automakers, such as BYD, NIO, and Geely, emerged as ideal partners. Already expanding rapidly across global markets, these firms offered advanced EV technologies, attractive pricing, and a willingness to invest in new frontiers. By mid-2025, reports surfaced in negotiations between the Canadian government and BYD, China's largest EV producer, regarding construction of a manufacturing plant in Ontario. The proposed deal, sweetened by tax incentives, subsidies, and access to Canada's rich deposits of critical minerals like lithium and cobalt, was seen as a win-win. NIO, famed for its luxury EVs and battery-swapping innovations, was also in talks to establish an R&D hub in Quebec. These engagements are not merely economic transactions. They are a strategic response to an industrial crisis. By embracing Chinese partners, Canada aims to preserve its auto manufacturing ecosystem, generate new employment, and stake its claim as a key player in the North American EV revolution. From the Chinese perspective, Canada presents a gateway into the region. With steep U.S. tariffs blocking direct access, Establishing operations in Canada could allow Chinese automakers to reach North American consumers more affordably under USMCA provisions. Yet, this opportunity is layered with complexities. While a new BYD plant could create thousands of direct and ancillary jobs, from assembly lines of battery and semiconductor suppliers, the influx of Chinese investment also stirs anxiety. Concerns have been raised about technological dependency and the possible erosion of Canada's decision-making power in vital industries. Critics fear that Canada could become a mere branch plant economy, beholden to foreign interests. Smaller local manufacturers and suppliers might struggle to survive in the face of China's massive production capabilities. Politically, this pivot is a high-wire act. The U.S., Canada's largest trading partner, views Chinese influence in strategic sectors like EVs with increasing suspicion. The White House has already voiced its displeasure, branding Canada's measures to counter U.S. tariffs as insufficient. The risk of retaliatory action looms, complicating Canada's balancing act between two superpowers. From China's viewpoint, investing in Canada is part of a larger ambition to sidestep U.S. trade barriers and expand its footprint in key markets. Although a 90-day pause on U.S.-China tariffs in May 2025 offered temporary respite, long-term relations remain fraught with tension. Beyond politics, Canada must also navigate trade rules under the USMCA to ensure that vehicles or components made by Chinese firms in Canada qualify for tariff exemptions. This will require significant local content, prompting further investment in domestic battery and component production. Public opinion in Canada is divided. Some citizens welcome the economic revival in green technology, while others are wary of deeper economic ties with a country criticized for its human rights record and assertive geopolitical stance. Yet, the potential upside is undeniable. Chinese firms lead the world in EV innovation. In 2024 alone, BYD sold more than 3 million mostly electric or hybrid vehicles. Their expertise could accelerate Canada's journey toward a sustainable economy, support its climate goals, and foster advancements in battery technology, smart manufacturing, and autonomous vehicles. Ultimately, Canada's bold turn reflects a broader fragmentation in global trade. As nations grapple with protectionism, technological disruption, and shifting alliances, old certainties are fading. The global auto industry is splintering along new lines. While U.S. automakers like Ford have expanded domestic production in response to tariffs, many continue to struggle with higher costs and disrupted supply chains. The Trump administration's eventual decision to ease tariffs on select foreign components, excluding Chinese parts, suggests an awareness of these pressures, but the overarching policy remains divisive. Canada's embrace of Chinese automakers is a pragmatic response to a harsh reality. It is a calculated risk, an effort to shield its auto industry from collapse, redefine its place in North America, and secure a foothold in the green economy of the future. Whether this strategy leads to renewal or regret depends on Canada's ability to walk a tightrope, balancing economic ambition with strategic autonomy and diplomacy with determination in a world more polarized than ever before.